Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jackson's Math Notebook. This is the second video in a series of videos related to prime factorization, in which I will give you the definition of prime factorizations, in which we break a composite number down into the product of its prime numbers or prime factors. And with that in mind, let's take a look at this example over here, in which we have the factor of 3 times the factor of 2, which will give us the product of 6. And when we look right here, we notice that 2 is a prime number and 3 is a prime number. And the only way to get a prime number through multiplication is to multiply itself times 1. And so we have 2 times 1 would give us 2, and 3 times 1 will give us 3. Those are the only ways to get a prime number through multiplication. And with that in mind, let's take a look at 60, in which we're going to milk out the 2's and we're going to milk out the 3's here. But before we do that, let's take a look at the factors of 60, in which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 15, 20, 30, and 60. Quite a few factors, aren't there? Well, here's why they are factors, because when we multiply the 1 times the 60, we get 60. The 2 times the 30 will get 60. 3 times 20 will equal 60. 4 times 15 will give us 60. 5 times 12 will equal 60. And 6 times 10 will give us 60. And this is why 60 has all these factors to it. And so with that in mind, let's milk out the 2's and milk out the 3's to find the prime factors of 60. Since we know that 60 is an even number, we can easily milk out the prime factor of 2. 2 times 30 will give us 60, but 30 is also a composite number in which we can milk out another 2. It is even as well. Whenever you see an even number, best thing to do is just milk out a 2, and we know that 2 times 15 will give us 30. And in this case, 15 is also a composite number in which we can milk out a 3, and we can milk out a 5. 3 and 5, and guess what? They happen to be prime numbers or prime factors. So 60 is really equal to 2 times 3 times 5. Those numbers, believe it or not, will give us 60. And so we have it right here, 2 times 3 times 5 equals 60, which is the same as saying 2 to the second power times 3 times 5 will give us 60 as well. And let's go over to our second part, in which we're going to milk out a 3. And notice that the 3 is right here. And guess what? Notice that the 5 is here. We're just going to prove to you that even if you milk out a 3, you're still going to come out with the same prime factorization. So let's prove it. Since we're going to milk out a 3, 3 is a prime factor. We know that 3 times 20 will give us 60. 20 is still a composite number, meaning that there are multiple ways to get 20 through multiplication of factors. But in this case, 20 is even. So let's milk that 2 out. And so now that we have a 2 right here, we know that 2 times 10 will give us 20. And 10 is a composite number, and we can milk out yet another 2. And we know that 2 times 5 will give us 10. And there you have it. We have our 3, 2, 2, 5. And on this side, we have our 2, 2, 3, 5. And they're the same thing. The good news is that multiplication is commutative, meaning that the order does not matter. And so with that in mind, we have a 2 times 3 times 5, which will give us 60. And 2 to the second power times 3 times 5 will give us 60 as well. And you just received a lot of information in a short period of time, but it's okay, because you can pause the video if you like, or replay the video as many times you need to gain that confidence and understanding in the meaning of prime factorization. But in the meantime, please comment, share, like, and subscribe to Jackson's Math Notebook for more content. Thank you and goodbye.